Hey, good evening. Hello, how are you? Good evening. It's Monday, February 4th. How are you? Good evening. I'm Dave. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Let's have a chat. Wow, let's just dive right into this. Super Bowl already last night. It was over. It was insane. It never lived up to its hype. It wasn't its hype, and now it's the downfall. The show. Yeah, it was a show. The game, the lowest scoring, total cumulative scoring game in NFL history. The halftime show, it was just a recap. Again, it was nothing fantastic. The performer said at halftime, we're going to do something about the critics. They did nothing for the critics. Okay, the guy took off his shirt. Okay, big deal. Let me take off my shirt. I'm not going to do that. But that's not the point. The point is that even the commercials just were lackluster. They weren't, there was like a record $40 million per commercial or something like that. And they didn't live up to that hype. The second commercial or the third commercial was for a beverage that no one's heard of. Apparently there are rumors of this beverage, but it's like a sparkling water with alcohol and some mermaids. Again, no. The car commercials, were there any car commercials? I couldn't pick one up out of that whole big mess of whatever that was. The only good one, the greatest commercial I saw last night was where that dragon from Game of Thrones just incinerated everybody. That was it. That was the best one. Unfortunately, those characters, they didn't get incinerated. They came back for a third commercial. So, okay, enough of that. So what does that mean? And again, today's topic is open forum. So what does it mean? It means one of two things. Either no one tried, which is obvious by the score. No one, and I'm not bitter that the Patriots won and the Rams lost. I'm not bitter. I'm just bitter at the fact that that's all they could that's all they could manage was just 16 points. I mean, come on, seriously. 16 points. I mean, Pee-wee games are like, a lot, like 72-5 or something like that. Again, it was the companies that were making these commercials. There was another one that really got at me as a parent. It got at me. And that was that Microsoft commercial with that kid. We've been seeing him all holiday season long winning, and he's in a wheelchair and he has difficulty playing, but he's got this awesome controller, and now it becomes a great equalizer, and that's awesome. And so this was kind of the behind the scenes video, behind the scenes commercial because of what was going on, and obviously they have other kids, and I don't think we've seen the last of those kids, so I think there'll be more commercials coming on with those kids and what they're doing with the Microsoft products, which is kudos to Microsoft for going behind the scenes, and that really truly got my attention. And so out of all of that, it was just one commercial got my attention. The other one, well, it's just more of like, I guess we're done with them, but we weren't done with them. But the Microsoft one really, really hit home as a parent. And so they connected. They hit the home run in the Super Bowl. They knocked it out of the ballpark in the Super Bowl. Didn't have to do 3 commercials. There was no trifecta there. There was just that one commercial, and that was enough. So they connected. So it wasn't a loss because I did get to see one awesome commercial. It was a loss in the sense of everybody else just took the customers, the viewing audience as nitwits. Nah, they wouldn't do that. Advertisers wouldn't do that to people, now would they? No, they wouldn't. Oh, yes, they would in a heartbeat. So long as they can make a buck, they're going to convince you that this is the best one. And whatever they present you here, you should be glad you got something, even though, they know that in majority of the country, because they were it was an East Coast, West Coast team, majority of the country was not watching the game for the game. They were watching it for the commercials, and the commercials fell short. So those companies that were out there spending all that money, I'd ask for my money back. Those companies that went out and hired people because they were the gurus of this, I would ask for my money back. And Microsoft, you just keep doing what you're doing. Keep looking forward, looking ahead. Whether you agree with the product or not, you have to admit, if you have not seen that video, you need to go out and look at it. Look for it. You have to admit that that video at some level did connect with the human being in us. It had nothing to do with the dog and the pony show and the renewable energy. No, it had nothing to do with the dilly-dilly that we've been all goofing around with all football season long. No, it had nothing to do with that. It just touched us on a human side. It just showed that, hey, even though they're a big, huge conglomerate, they still care. They care enough to keep doing something else. And folks, if you're not doing that with your customers, if you're not connecting with your customers at that level, something is fundamentally wrong. And you need to reconnect before you lose it all. And in this case, $40 million a pop, lost it all. So I would rethink my next year's Super Bowl commercial, and good luck. Listen, my name's Dave. Today's Monday, February 4th, 2019. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great evening.